time of the year or month or whatever you want to call it for my quarterly TBR. If you are new to my channel, instead of doing a monthly TBR, I do a TBR for every 3 months. So this one will be April, May, and June. And how I choose, I have some topics in my little TBR jar here, and I have 2 shelves of unread books that I choose from. So before I get into the second quarter TBR, let's see how I did in the first quarter TBR, January, February, and March. I had 2 books that were rereads for me. The first one was To Whisper Her Name by Tamara Alexander, and I finished that book. The second book was the second book in the Harry Potter series, The Chamber of Secrets, the illustrated edition, and I finished that one. Then moving on into the books that I grabbed from my unread shelf, I have 2 books that I unfortunately did not get to, and the first one is Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, the second book in the Gentleman Bastard series. I'm going to actually put this one back up on my shelf because I really do want to get to this. I really enjoyed the first one, and I want to continue on in the series. So, and the second book that I did not get to was the Doctor Who Revolutions of Terror. This is the first book in the series of graphic novels for the 10th Doctor, and I had started it but I never finished it, and so I am going to put this back up on my shelf. So the 4 books that I did finish was The Storykeeper by Lisa Wingate, and this fulfilled the challenge of read a book with blue on the cover. On the Other Side by Carrie Holt Fletcher, and this fulfilled the challenge of read a hardback book. Everything by Nicola Yoon, and this fulfilled read a YA novel. And the last book that was on the shelf that I read was Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell, and this fulfilled read a book with yellow on the cover. I've done reviews and wrap-ups of all of these books, so if I have actually edited those videos, I will put a link down below for the times and the videos for where those are if you want to know all of my thoughts and feels on those books. So now that we've talked about last quarter, let's move on to this next quarter for the 6 books and 6 challenges that go along with them. And the first book and first challenge was to read a series, and I'm not going to read the entire series because, well, I'm just not. I just picked one other book from that series, and that is Night Shadows by Sebastian de Castell. This is the second book in the Great Coat series, and I've already started it, and I'm loving it, and it's so good, and I'm so excited to continue on in this series. So the next challenge that I drew was read a contemporary/romance novel, and the book that I chose to go along with that was David Baldisi's The Christmas Train, and this just sounds like a great, just kind of fluff piece where if I need a break from all of the world building of fantasy and all of the science-y from science fiction, then I can just pick this up and just have a nice, easy romance read, and it's set at Christmas time, and I love Christmas time books because I love Christmas. And even though it's April, or when I read it June or July, no, May or June, it'll still be great. So I'm looking forward to reading this book. The next challenge that I drew was read a middle grade book, and the book that I chose for that was Wolf Hollow by Lauren Wolk. This is an ARC, that's why it looks so funky. I got this from Penguin, I believe. I want to give away, and so this is one of the books they sent me, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. It comes out in, oh, it already came out. It came out on June 30th of 2016, so it's already out. So, yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about it. There's no description for it at all. The tagline here says, "The year I turned 12, I learned how to lie." I love a good middle grade book because they're just fun and easy, and sometimes you just need that in your life. The next challenge is to read a female author, and the book that I chose for that is Bridge to Haven by Francine Rivers, and I really like Francine Rivers' writing. I've had this book for 2 years. I got this at the RT Book Lovers Convention in 2015, so it's just been sitting on my shelf for almost 2 years, and I think it's about time that I finally read this. The little tagline here that kind of gives an idea of what the book is about is, "She's burned every bridge to get exactly what she thought she wanted. Now all she wants is a way back home." And I really like Francine Rivers' books. She always has a lot of depth and character development. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this world and seeing these new characters that she has written. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So that's Bridge to Haven by Francine Rivers. The next challenge is to read a standalone novel, and the book that I chose for that is Scott Westerfeld's Afterworld. I've had this book also for 2 years. I got it at the RT Book Lovers Convention. I actually bought it, and I got to meet him, and it was really fun. And so I'm looking forward to reading this. The only thing I know about it is it's two books in one. So it's about a girl who wrote this book, and so it's her book that she wrote, and then outside of that it's her dealing with publishing a book, I believe. So I'm looking forward to diving into this book. And the last challenge that I picked was to read an historical fiction novel, and the novel that I chose for that was The Fortune Hunter by Daisy Goodwin. I believe this follows an empress of Austria and different things that happen, and so it sounds really interesting, and I have heard really good things about Daisy Goodwin, and so I'm looking forward to getting into this book. And I don't read a whole lot of historical fiction except for Tamara Alexander, and so I'm looking forward to reading some more historical fiction because I like it. It's just not something that I gravitate towards automatically. So yeah, so that is the last book that's going up on my TBR shelf. So these are the 8 books that are on my shelf. I'm a little intimidated because they're all pretty big chunker books. Like, I think, except for these 2, they're all over 400 pages. Or in my graphic novel. So I have a lot of long books to read, but I'm really excited about all of these. So let me know down below if you read any of these, what your thoughts and feels are, if you have opinions on which ones I should get to first. If you want to buddy read any of these books, let me know. And guys, I hope you're having a great reading month, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye! And seriously, if you really do want to buddy read, I really like buddy reading, so seriously, if you want to buddy read any of these or anything else, let me know.